Well, hello, and welcome to another episode of Ask a Photo Pro. It's Carty, me. We are here to talk to you about your photography. And I've been a professional photographer, professional speaker, not a great professional speaker right now, but I have been a professional photographer for 3 decades, almost 3.5 decades. I help photographers like you transition from your 9-to-5 life that you're not thrilled with to the life of a professional photographer. I do this through these immersive live streams and these photo reviews, which today's episode is photo reviews. Every Thursday, I take photography submissions from all over the world from photographers that are, number one, members of this channel at the submission level, and also in my Discord. All you need to do, join the Discord, hit the join button, hit the submission level, and start participating in these assignments. What you're going to notice when you participate in these assignments is the level of your work going way up. I give an assignment, and that assignment is specifically tailored to you in your niche. So by doing these assignments, I'm actually giving you portfolio material every time you participate. The photographers that do participate and ask for my input and then take my input and then implement it into their photography realm, the level of work that you see, and if you just watch this show just as a show, watching people's progress is beautiful. So that's what we do here. I've been doing this here on YouTube for 3 years. I started on Twitch and I migrated over to YouTube, and I've had my YouTube channel since 2007 or so, but it wasn't until maybe 2 years ago where I realized I got to move everything onto YouTube and I have to put all my eggs in the YouTube basket. And since I have, oh my God, my life has been so rich. It's so rich and fulfilling because I change lives here through these immersive live streams, through consultations, through coaching, through mentorship. I'm just obsessed about seeing people succeed, especially in a creative career. Succeeding in a creative career is incredibly difficult. So that's what I'm here to do. And by the way, all of these glitches and these sounds that you're hearing, they're all controlled by my viewers. That's the thing that's crazy. They're all controlled by my viewers. My viewers actually have the power. They actually have the power to not just like watch and participate in chat, but they can actually change my chat. They can activate. They can do all kinds of crazy things like you are seeing right now, and it makes it really fun to watch. I have to do one thing. Screen's gonna go black for 1 second. Please stand by. We are still here. Stand by. Sorry. This is a necessary evil. I forgot to add one little thing to my stream here. All right, we are back. Apologies for that. Look at Steve. No. Yeah, anyways, don't be afraid of the dark. I'm back. All right, so guys, photo review show. And what I wanted to show you, first of all, is tell you what this week's assignment is. And this week's assignment is niche at night, which means I want to see you execute photographs in your niche, but I want you to do it at night. And again, it's harder. It's way harder to shoot at night, and especially if you're a portrait photographer or a product photographer. Like, this is difficult. So the whole goal was to let's see you execute some nighttime photography that actually pushes you into a whole new realm. And before I start looking at your photographs, what I'm going to do is inspire. And how I'm going to inspire you is by showing you some of my work. Some of my work that I've done at night with, again, the same tools that you have. I'm no different than you are. All I am is experienced. So let me show you, before I look at your photographs, let me show you some of my night photography. Okay, so night. This is shot with the Canon R5 and a 50 millimeter L series 1.2. This is shot with the same camera. And what I want you to notice is light painting. I want you to notice light painting and how I push idea to the furthest reaches of where you can actually go with an idea. You realize these two shots are the same photo, just with light painting and without. This is part of an ongoing series of light painting that I've been working on this series for, I don't know, 15 years. Started working on this, almost 20. Back in 2005, I started working on this. So this is night photography, and not necessarily portraits, but more in the realm of fine art. So this is also me painting in here. I'm actually painting into the sky to execute the type of light that I need. And you see these streaks right here. This is just with a simple light wand that you can buy for $50 on Amazon, and creativity. I am just walking through the photo, painting this light with a 30-second exposure. This is me using gelled light to kick light into this scene. And also look at the star points on all these light sources, which happens when you use high quality lenses and you shoot with a long exposure. Look at the infinite depth of field, the depth of field all the way back here, because I'm shooting at virtually f/16. And the light painting. What I want you to see here is I do the things that I ask you to do. When I give you an assignment, I'm giving you an assignment because this is the photography that I do to practice. This is the photography that I do to bend what I think is possible with photography. And then this work actually gets me client work. I haven't even really released these photographs yet because this is an ongoing series. Notice how I'm going behind the tree and adding a depth, starting from up here and waving far away and then going behind an object. Like, it creates curiosity. Night photography, long shutter speeds that are 30 seconds. Look at how the clouds are actually moving in my frame, and everything else is absolutely dead still. It looks like it's shot during the day. Night photography. Look at the points of light and the interest in the scene and the leading line, the tennis court, the not a single person, no people, no cars, no distractions. Night photography. 30-second exposure. Interesting points of light within the frame to hold your attention. Leading line. Low horizon line. Not on the thirds, but below the third. Look at the sky. You actually see cloud detail at 3 o'clock in the morning. 30-second exposure. F16. ISO 100. So those are some examples. These are inspiration images to show you that anything is possible when it comes to what we're doing with a camera. And also, try harder. Try harder. This game is not a joke, but you can gamify photography. And what I've managed to do is I gamify photography. I make every single time that I go out with my camera, it's a game. And I'm playing against myself. I'm playing wall ball, literally wall ball. Just, all right, let's go. And then I start beating myself, doing stuff that I never thought possible. Which is why I do this show and why I do photo reviews and why I give assignments, because it takes a certain type of photographer that will step up to a challenge and say, yeah, I'm going to try that. Because the photographers that don't, they get left behind. The photographers that can't execute an idea, when someone says, hey, shoot this, and they can't do it, you're never going to get hired. Who's going to hire you? You can't execute an idea. That's what I try to do here. And we are at your favorite show of the week. My favorite show of the week too. I'm excited about looking at these photos, baby. Let's go. If you're running a photography business, especially if you're doing that and juggling photo shoots, I've got something that might be a game changer for you. It's called Indy, and trust me, it's like having a personal business assistant, only it's affordable. First off, imagine creating eye-catching project proposals super easily. Indy helps you do that so you can impress your clients and get more gigs. Plus, there's these ready-to-go contracts which are a breeze to sign thanks to electronic signatures. No more paperwork headaches. Then there's the task management part. You know how you have to keep track of a million things? Indy has a great to-do list and digital tools that let you visualize your work and keep everything super organized. It's really helpful. Invoicing, Indy's got you covered. Send out professional invoices and estimates and let your clients pay through options like PayPal, Stripe, Zelle, and even pay you by check if they need to. Working closely with clients, Indy has a cool client portal where you can chat, share files, and keep everybody in the loop. It's like your project command center. You don't need to use Google Drive. For those of you who are still billing by the hour, there's a time tracker that logs how much time you're spending on each project. Talk about making life easier. And then there's extras like file storage for your photos, customizable forms for all your client interactions, and a calendar that gives you a bird's eye view of your schedule. Here's the kicker. With my promo code Carty35, you can get 35% off your first year of Indy's Pro plan, which works out to be about $7.80 a month if you go monthly, and an even better deal of $5.85 a month if you pay annually. It's $5.85. So if you want to focus more on the creative side of your business and less on that stuff that you don't like doing that much, Indy is your go-to. Click the link in the video description, use my code Carty35, and watch the magic happen. Give it a go. See how it works for you and watch how it transforms your business. Thanks so much. All right. Thanks to Indy for sponsoring this podcast. Indy is such a great partner. Check out my sponsors. Check out the links in the video description, by the way. I have so much stuff there to help you. You guys with me? Are you ready for your favorite show of the week? The one that we call real photo reviews, because I don't blow smoke. If anybody's watched my photo reviews before, you know I don't blow smoke. And by the way, speaking of smoke, oh my goodness, here we go. This guy's glitching me again. Glitcho.
Yes, sir, yes.
So speaking of smoke, if you want to see actual smoke, here's the thing. If you become a member while I'm live, I hit the smoke machine and the whole room fills up with smoke. It's crazy. Smoke alarms might go off, but you have to become a member, donate, do a super chat, do something like that, and I'll hit the smoke machine. It makes it nice and interactive. I like interaction. As you can see, the glitches are going ham right now. These guys are going crazy. Is it you two? I know. It's you two. Are you two the ones that are hitting all these glitches? I'm sure. You guys, can you let me get through my program, please? Word to your mama. My word. These two, they hang out with me. They're nice, but I'm telling you, they got all the glitches. They got all the glitches, man. I'm telling you. Guys, okay, let's get into the photos. So the assignment was shoot in your niche at night. I don't look at these photos until it's time. I don't look at these photos until right now. This is the thing. Oh, Vicki. Oh my goodness. Vicki just gifted a membership. Vicki, how did I miss that? How did I miss that, Vicki? And Vicki, my smoke machine, it's warming up right now. So I will hit the smoke for you as soon as my lights go on, girl. Thank you. I appreciate you. So thank you, by the way. So this is the vibe. I have photos, somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 to look at. I've asked for niche at night, and we are starting with Scuba Steve. Steve says, from last submission to the first, I've been wanting to shoot at this mural for the longest time, but I haven't been able to figure out how. This assignment added the creative pressure I needed to get it done, and I am very pleased with the result. Shot on the R6 Mark II, 50mm 1.8, shot at a 60th. Stephanos with the gifted. Stephanos and Alice, thank you. I appreciate you. Let's go. I appreciate you. You guys get to smoke. Thank you for the gifteds. I appreciate y'all. The support is amazing. I appreciate you. So, at a 60th of a second, 2.8 at ISO 4 hundo. All right. Let's look at Scuba Steve. Steve Bordeaux. Coming in hot. Let's go, Steve. Let's see what you got here. Thank you for submitting, by the way. The color is great, Steve. The color is really good. I like it. I like the offset. It works. The gelled light works. It works as a cover for me. Like, let's just look at how seriously you took this picture. I asked for niche at night, and you gave me exactly that. And you did it with existing light. You put in a little bit of swag here with the footwear. Oops, where's my tool? Here it is. Goodness me. Sorry, kids. Oh my goodness, what's going on here? So, there we go. Holy moly. Works there. Won't work there. Weird. All right, we'll figure that out in a second. So this is really, really good, Steve. I'm really happy with this. It looks strong as a cover. It's very strong as a cover. And also, I think that the thing that you're really starting to grab here is all the elements in one photo. all the elements in one photo, and I'm really happy with this. This is good. This is good. I mean, I don't have much to say. The offset is really good. It works for me. Let me just get screen brush back up. Good shit. Okay. There we go. So this, perfect. This brand, perfect. The offset skull, obviously, we had to do that, but there's room for copy. There's room for magazine. There's room for the date. It all just lays out nicely. And the color works, Steve. And also you dropped your horizon line nice and low, kept that undistracting. You hit it from an interesting angle. It's good for me. It works. It's definitely an 11, and it gets the smoke and applause. Well played, Steve. Very well done. Good first picture. Okay. Yeah, it's weird. My screen brush wasn't going on the other side. Yo, look at this. Look at this set that I'm conjuring here. Let's go, Stefanos. You got a question for me? Look at this set that I'm conjuring here with the smoke in the background. Ask your question, Stefanos. Ask your question while I dial up the next picture. What about the missing foot? Okay, so it's a valid question. It's a valid question, Stefanos, and I can't penalize him for the missing foot, the crop. Like, I see it. And again, what Stefanos is saying is, what about this crop here? And I see that. The only other option was this foot isn't there at all. And then it crops here and we take this whole thing out. I feel like it loses a bit of a dynamic. The other thing is we include hit both feet down, we back up, we show both feet. It's the other option. Again, I see the crop. This distracts me less than and it's because of the offset foot. But yeah, I agreed. Stefano said this is the only thing that bothered him, is where that cut is. Now that you pointed it out, yes, like I definitely see it. But I feel like the body language and the swag kind of makes it so it's not that distracting. But you have to watch that, man. You have to watch that. And again, my viewers are also, especially people who submit, are trained and they know the things that I see and the things that I call out. So good on you, Stefano. And good on you, Steve. Well done. All right, let's get to the next. Our next submitter is Mike Stimats. Ooh, Mike says, my niche is travel photography. The concept was to get traffic-like streaks in front of a Merced Playhouse, but when I saw the sign in the old restaurant, I switched. The ghosted VW was an added bonus. Merced, California, by night, Canon R8, 50mm, 1.8, 30 seconds at f14 at ISO 100. This is Mike Stimats. Let's go, Mikey. Appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, like... This is what I notice. The level of photography is going up. Like, I have the same people who submit. These same people are in my masterclass. These same people are on my newsletter. They watch everything that I do and they act. And this is one of the coolest things that I've seen from Mike. Like, honestly, Mike, this is so good. I gotta give you the smoke and the applause. This is an 11, my guy. Very good discipline. Let's look at this as a double page spread. Like, the level of discipline in this frame, Mike, is very good, bro. And again, you're really hard on yourself and you've really been trying to find yourself within this space. And this challenge that I gave you, look at these starlights, man. Look at this. Look at the depth of field. Look at this super interesting building, the texture. Like, look at this detail. And the vintage 7-Up sign. Like, this is so sick, Mike. Like, this is a photo, like, when you enlarge it and you zoom through it, it's like choose your own adventure. You get to just like, oh my goodness, what am I seeing here? So, Mike, again, and this sign, and how absolutely insanely sharp this is. Like, you figured it out, Stamats. Mike, you figured it out. Here, bro, you figured it out. And again, Masterclass, you're quiet, but it's like you're a lethal weapon. You were just like building and building and building. You might be a night photographer, my guy. You might be someone who, like, this becomes one of your pillars. Like, this type of photography for a travel photographer, being able to shoot at night like this, Mike, very, very, very good job. The bar is high already. The bar is high, folks. Photo of the week is going to be difficult. I can already feel it. By the way, if you guys are enjoying this content, give me a like. Like, hit the like button, please.
Yes,
Do it while I'm live. So maybe this pushes out into a couple more people's feeds. So it's not just 50 people watching. Maybe it's more, you know? All right. Stewart said it's festival season. This is Bruno Mars, a Bruno Mars tribute artist, outside stage, shot with the R6, 7200 2.8, f2.8, 500th of a second at ISO 8000. Zoomed to 177. This is Stewart. Stewart, thanks for submitting, my guy. Appreciate you. Well, as the live photography goes, this is strong. Compositionally, incredibly strong. In fact, it's so good, it almost looks like you watch my program. It almost looks like you listen and are starting to understand how to shoot editorially for a magazine. And you can see here how the copy would go here, and it's like, Bruno. Oops, I spelt wrong. Bruno. Oh, no! Exclamation mark. And then the article, and then photo credit down here. So you're starting to understand composition and how to shoot editorially. What I need you to think about is like exposure. This is low. This is under. This is under by about a third of a stop. So I want you to watch that. Just overall, it feels a little dark. And also, there's no light on his face. I also want you to watch the focus right in here, which is the most critical spot of focus. When I look at this at 100%, I also want to make sure that you're not doing any extra treatment to this. And now, when I'm looking really close at this, you are doing some sort of recovery or something to this photo, because when I get this close now it looks like a painting. It does not look like a photograph. And when I look this close, I'm starting to see like you're doing something in post-production that you absolutely should not be doing. Do not use radical noise reduction. Do not use radical, like whatever you're doing in post just lost the game for you, because your photos can't fall apart at close inspection. This is full screen. I have a 4K monitor. When I clicked to this size and saw skin, because I saw there was something going on in here, and when you look here and at his skin, you're like, wait a second, this is all blurry. And then I start to follow the tracks, and I start to look at where this color meets this color, and I'm like, oh, there's some blurring there. And then I start to look at the background detail, and it's like, wait a second, there's no noise, no grain, and like all of that reduction is just destroying your file. So make sure that you're not doing that in post to save something. There is no saving. It's shooting it correctly, exposing it correctly, and knowing how to handle your files in post. They can't fall apart once you go, like, I don't want to look at his hand and have it look like it's an illustration. Like it now, starts to blend the line between, is this photography or is this AI? If you're doing pure photography, stop messing your files after the fact. And if it's noisy, learn how to shoot with a lower ISO. If it's noisy, don't shoot with a 70 to 200 at zoom to 177 at whatever ISO you chose. Buy a 200 2.8 and shoot at half that ISO at f4. So the equipment determines, like, I think in this situation, either you found a shot that you made at night and submitted it. I think that that's more likely than you made a shot for this assignment. So note that, like, I notice everything, and it just takes a second, but I will find what you're doing and try to break it down for you. So I hope this brings you value. I can't give you an 11 because under close scrutiny, Stewart, it like the house of cards fell down. You heard how I reacted to the first few photos. Under close scrutiny, solid house. Bring it on. Bring me your hurricanes. That type of work, that's not just shooting great pictures. That's understanding how to process properly, how to export properly, what to do while you're processing, what not to do while you're processing, how to export properly. Like all of those steps, it can't all be over here and just spend no time learning about all this other stuff, because what you spend time here on, you will F it up through this process while you're exporting it if you don't know every step of the chain. So that's what I'm seeing here is post-processing issues, Lightroom, Photoshop, like you're just doing too much. You're like, you've watched me. You've never seen me do 30 of the things that you're doing to that photo. So watch my what's it called? From raw to processed skin retouching videos. Like watch that stuff and see what I do to my files. And if I don't do it, don't you do it, because it's not helping. All right, Tom Fox, let's go. Next, people. So Tom says, I resubmitted because I noticed some sloppy mistakes. If I notice them, I know for sure Carty will also. Spent the weekend upstate with some friends in a small town. One of my friends was kind enough to venture into town with me for some neon lit portraits after everything was closed. Shot with the Z6, 70 millimeter, f4, 80th of a second, ISO 3200. Okay, let's see. Tom Fox. Thanks for submitting, Tom. I appreciate you. Compositionally sound, Tom. I want to make sure, here's something that I'm noticing that seems to be a regular occurrence. Make sure that you are not, make sure your camera is not set to 2x3. I mean, not set to 16:9 and is set to 2x3 as far as proportions. One of my viewers, her camera was set not to 2x3. It was set to 16:9. So whenever she shot vertically, her pictures just looked thin. So in order to shoot for a magazine format, make sure that, I think you're set for 2x3. Just the last person cropped to 9:12. So that's all good. This works as a cover. It works as a cover. It's compositionally sound. There's a couple of light things that I want you to be watching. The exposure here on her skin is low. This needs to be plus, I'll call it half a stop. We're starting to lose shadow detail in here. It's starting to get invisible, no detail in here. It's starting to get muddy in here. And we're losing this half of her, like we're just losing her jacket. The fact that she's wearing a jacket, we're losing lots of her in there. Very clever with the iPhone as the reflection in here to kick back some of that. That's very cool. How you do that, by the way, is you get your phone and then you turn it to a black screen and then you hold it like this. And then you get your camera lens and you see right now how you see my reflection in here, just like that. And then you put your camera just like this, click, click, click. And then you can reflect that light back up at your subject. And because you're focusing on your subject, this goes out of focus. So that's what he's doing. He's bringing in something here as a reflector. You can use a mirror. You can use all kinds of different things like that. So again, very cool idea. I like the mixed light. The exposure for me is the biggest problem. And yeah, just having something up here, some sort of point of interest, some sort of point of like highlight brightness. This for me is too low in the horizon line, meaning this here is fighting with us looking at her. And you can't be aiming so up at her because that's not flattering at all. So again, it's just this line here, Tom. That's the only thing. And the fact that everything up here is kind of, there's no real texture up there. And just exposure here. That's the only thing. Just exposure. Small things. Compositionally, though, I see what you were trying to do. This is really close, Tom Fox. Thank you for submitting, my guy. This is a good one. Let's look at it close. Your focus is good. You didn't go too crazy with the post-processing. You know, again, it's just getting your subject to really feel like they're into it. Like, I know she's just participating and letting you photograph her, but you have to like engage something in her face, some light in her eyes, some spark, some like she's just, you know what I mean? And because she's so deadpan, you know what I mean? Sometimes, I gotta tell you a secret. Don't be offended, but some ladies have resting bitch face. Okay? It's just a thing. Some ladies have a face that when they're resting, they don't look like they're nice people. But it's not true. I mean, I'm sure that's not the case, but it's just a thing. It's RBF. It's just sometimes people have that. When you see them on the subway, they're just like, you know what I mean? But that's just their resting face. So if that's their resting face, you have to like, hey, give me a little Smize, give me a little sparkle, you know? Think of something nice. Think of good things. Think of like, you have to cue them so they're not just, you know what I mean? It's something that it's up to us to do it, the photographer, because girls don't know that they have resting bitch face. So you got to tell them, hey, you got resting bitch face. Let's lighten up. Let's bring it little, bring a little, bring a little, get a little, click, click. That's what you do. So that's the vibe. So help the ladies. You too can help a woman that you know stop her resting bitch face. If you tell her and communicate and remind her to be grateful and have gratitude, and you'll find yourself smiling just automatically. Jokes. Yeah, and calligraphy says, ask questions that makes the photo shoot about them. Calligraphy, if you have a female subject, you have to engage. You have to engage. Very, very good inputs. All right, let's keep it going. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Our next, Mercedes donating the $5 super chat. Thank you, Mercedes. I appreciate you, my guy. Get the smoke. Thank you. Appreciate you. Super chats are all welcome. And it's a great way. By the way, you can hit the like. If you like the fact that Mercedes just gave me $5, hit the like button. It makes a man damn feel good who just does things like this. And also, it just causes engagement. It tells YouTube that there's things happening here. People are happy. People are liking it, you know? And again, I'll say, hit the like button. Share this. Make a clip. You'll notice if you make a clip, it shows up on my homepage. And the ones with the most views get pushed to the top. So make a clip, yo. You guys are going to glitch me out to 1995. All right, let's look at our next photographer. Joshua Hone, R6, 85 millimeter, 125, ISO 50, f4, strobe light using wall as a reflector. This is Joshua Hone. Joshua. Wow. Wow. Double page discipline to the max. Very clever, Joshua. Very, very clever. And again, the fact that this is an ad for headphones. Just FYI, if you didn't catch it, this is an ad for headphones. It's a nondescript girl wearing the right outfit, lit in like a mysterious way. He lit her with the bounce. Like he lit the wall and let the bounce light her. That's smart. That is smart photography. And also, the back of her becomes dark, which creates mystery. Also smart. It creates a highlight that goes down her body and over and down the headphones. Also smart. And this hotspot creates a place for you to put Apple Vision or whatever the product it is that you are marketing, and it is exactly on one half of one page. So for a double page spread, it's completely perfect. This is a win for me. This is how you shoot niche at night. This is how you create a creative solution for a technical problem. I gave you very few rules. Very few rules. I gave you a tight brief. I said, photograph something that is within your niche at night. That one sentence is your brief. Within that, you can fly. Literally. Nike gave an advertising agency a brief. They said, we want a slogan, a statement. And the advertising agency was Weeden Kennedy. and they want a statement, something that just is basically the philosophy of our brand and a motivational statement all in one. Weed and Kennedy came up with just do it. And that just do it became Nike's, not just their moniker, but it became their brand. It became the type of person that Nike is attracting. Somebody who just does it. Doesn't matter what you look like. Just do it. That is the power of a tight brief. And also, just do it has been Nike's philosophy, and every piece of marketing or advertising that has been attached to Nike since falls under those three magic words. So, as a photographer, if you do not understand the power of a tight brief and how learning how to work within a tight brief, actually, this is how the world works. So if you're not getting clients or you don't have clients, it might be because you do not know how to execute an idea and to a tight brief. Doing these assignments teaches you how to execute an idea under a tight brief. Simple. So you can watch other people do it, or you can join, become a member, hit the subscription, the submission level, and then have your work critique like this so you can improve, so you can learn how to execute the ideas that I have for you. And you can learn how to make them fit within your niche and create your portfolio. Do you not think that this is now a portfolio picture for Joshua Hone? And guess what? This was nothing before. This was nothing. And now it is, because I gave him a tight brief and Joshua executed. And now he has a portfolio picture. And also, he has a happy Carty, because you can follow a tight brief. These are the kind of people that I let into my pro group. All right, let's go. Who's next? Let's see. I'm so excited. This is my favorite episode of the week, by the way. My favorite. This is Miss Jennifer. So Jennifer says, this is my initial plan for the shoot. It did not go as expected. My initial plan for the shoot did not go as expected. Through the window, this is Dion gazing onto a rain-soaked night in Baltimore. Shot with the Sony A7 R3 at 200th of a second, f7.1, ISO 6400 at a 24-70. Let's see. Thank you for submitting, Miss Jennifer. So here's what happened. Miss Jennifer had a plan for doing a photo shoot on this day outside with this lady with a dress, and it rained. So because it rained, now Miss Jennifer thought that she could adapt the brief to mean, how about we stay inside and just point the camera outside through a window so people can see it's raining and it's at night, and then I'll figure out something to do with the flash. I'll figure out something to do to light it. Unfortunately, this is not at all the assignment. In this case, when this happens, you get an umbrella for yourself, you get an umbrella for your subject, and you figure out a way to shoot this outside. You go outside at night over an overhang. You use the fact that the ground is wet, or you start this assignment earlier because rain happens. Rain days happen. And if the only day that you set to shoot is your rain day and you don't have a backup plan, This is what happens. You can't fit a square peg into a round hole. And I do appreciate the attempt, but this is not a photograph at night. This is a photograph indoors in a studio that you just happen to take at night. The fact that you're showing me outside, all that's doing is distracting us, because this window is distracting from the entire scene, and the drapes is distracting. And her looking out the window like I wish I was out there is now, she's not present, and it's like there's no eye contact, and she's off. Like in this case, if you have this space to shoot this, just do a photo shoot with her in the studio, and it abandon doing the assignment because you haven't prepared for the possibility that water might fall from the sky. Water is going to fall from the sky. It's gonna happen. Like, you can't avoid, when you're shooting outside, the conditions that happen outside. But you also can't rely on only one day with no backup. And you look at the weather. If I'm going to book a person to shoot and set Wednesday night for the shoot, I'm looking at weather. I'm not looking at weather on one app. I'm looking at weather on 4 apps. And you're going to know it's going to rain Wednesday night on Monday. On Monday, you're going to see the percentage. It's going to say 50% chance of rain, 60% chance of rain, 70% chance of rain. But you're sticking to it, and you're like, no, I'm going to shoot on Tuesday. I have to do it. What if it rains? Or you don't look at the weather at all and you just wing it. Like, this is the preparation. This is the preparation that you have to do as a professional photographer. There's just like, what if this was someone's wedding? Well, then there's always a plan. If it rains that day, this is the plan. If it doesn't rain, this is the plan. So as a photographer, you're shooting outside. It is a night photograph, niche at night. It was not niche in studio. So, and also, Miss Jennifer, what is your niche? What is your niche? I've seen product photography. I've seen portraits. I've seen so many different angles. So I want to make sure, like, you're clear with what your niche is. And what is the purpose of her wearing this insanely evening gown dress outside? Like, what was the idea? Like, what was was it a thought or was it an idea? Like, there's a difference. An idea is a formed thought. A thought is just a scribble. Like, night. I got to shoot at night. That's a thought. Okay. Now you have to form it. And how you do that is with time. And you got to, like, literally, what have other people done? There's another thing. What have other people done? Let me start looking at what other people are doing at night. That is amazing. What's my niche? Okay, that's my niche. So let's look at what other people are doing in my niche at night. Okay, now let's have these 10 pictures. And what can now I imitate from these? That's taking a thought and forming a thought into an idea. Because an idea, you can make a plan for an idea. You can make a plan, and then the plan you can action. If you try to action a thought, this is what happens. You can't action thoughts. This is why photographers that go outside and take pictures. Let's go easy on the glitches for a bit, guys. The people who are going outside and taking pictures aren't actioning ideas. They're actioning thoughts. Oh, there's a thought. Click. Oh, there's another thought. Click. Oh, there's click. So then they just have a whole bunch of random thoughts that they thought were ideas. That now, how did those thoughts get formed into something that you can sell to the marketplace? So when you go in with, what do I shoot? I shoot people. How do I shoot them? Well, I shoot editorially in a magazine style? What type of people? They're models. Okay, cool. That's your niche. That's the type of people that you shoot. So then you get one of those people, and the challenge is shoot them at night. Okay, so then you find the ideal location. Here's a secret. When it rains, there's always a bridge. There's bridges in every city, even Atlanta, even Baltimore, wherever you are. You go underneath the bridge, there's no rain falling there. Not a drop. Not a drop. So all you need to do is go outside at night when it's pouring with rain and have pre-scouted overhangs that you can tuck under and shoot outside at night in your niche. But you can't do that without forming your thought into an idea that you can have a plan for. And when you make a plan, what if this happens? Well, we do this. What if this happens? Well, we do this. It's called a blueprint. If you approach every photo shoot like that, now you're making pictures instead of taking pictures. Miss Jennifer, we missed the boat on this one, girl. Thanks for submitting. Again, there's no excuses. It doesn't matter that it rained. There's always a solution. So if you're not, you have to bring creative solutions. That's what you do. You create creative solutions for any problem. A water fell from the sky, ended your world. Come on. Water falls from the sky all the time. I always have a plan for when I'm shooting and it rains. There's always a plan. Always. Work on that. Good job, Jennifer. Thanks so much. Let's see who is next. And again, I tried to say earlier at the beginning of this episode that this isn't easy. This isn't easy. This is not easy. So MR Photo says, finally made a photo submission. I've been waiting to update my profile pic. Haven't had time. Missed last week's assignment. So I'm going to double dip for this assignment. I'm mainly an outdoor photographer. I've invested in some LED constant as I want to offer more options. This was a fun and challenging assignment to mix constant light and strobes. So I did see all kinds of talk about this going on in my photography community about this photograph and whether he actually did the assignment, which is shoot a niche photo at night. So here is MR Photo. Let's have a look. Thanks for submitting, by the way. So did you shoot last week's assignment of a self-portrait? Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's great for a self-portrait for sure. Did you do this week's assignment of a niche at night? Absolutely not. You absolutely did not do this week's assignment of shooting a niche at night. So even if you shot this outside, I don't care. You could be bullshitting. Like, again, there's nothing that says night photography about this photograph. Like, I showed examples of night photography from the top of the episode. You've seen everything that everyone else has shot. You could have shot this not on a seamless and used an environment of a background and still did the same light, still brought the same light, the gelled light, the blah, 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 put it outside. You're on your front lawn. You're in a field. You're in a parking lot. It's night, clearly, by everything that you see around you. And you're lit by the stuff the same way that you're lighting yourself here. That's easy to do, and it's a solution for your problem. And as I quote you, killing two birds with one stone, double dipping, or whatever you want to call it, managing to shoot a self-portrait and fitting the niche at night thing. You didn't do it. This is last week's assignment that you missed submitting, that you're trying to make work for this week's assignment, and it doesn't go. So for me, I can't spend a lot of time on it. It's formatted for a cover, definitely. It's competent light. It looks cool. It's clever with the finger holding. Everything is cool about this picture, MR. But I can't give any accolades or props because it's not the assignment and it's not the brief. It's last week's brief. And it's like, if you imagine this is a magazine editor. I say, okay, buddy, I got his photographer. He's great. His name's MR. And I want you to photograph him outside at night. Can you do that for me? It's going to be the cover of the magazine. And guess what? This magazine, it's the Halloween issue. So I don't want you to do a Halloween photo. No Halloween stuff. But I need you to shoot it at night, and I need it to be outside. Cool? And you're like, got it. And then this is what you give the art director. Guess what happens then? Guess what happens then, MR? And then you say this to the art director. But I shot it at night. It was like 8 o'clock when I shot this. And, you know, I shot it outside in front of my garage with like a seamless. Guess what happens? He's like, thanks very much. Thank you. I appreciate you. I'll see you on the next one. And he ushers you off the phone, never calls you again because you didn't follow the brief. Like, and you tried to like wedge your picture into the very tight brief that you didn't follow. You tried to do that. And you're trying to do it to me. And I don't play that. So as I said to the Discord, and everybody, believe me, I saw MR. I saw. And I don't look at these folders, but I saw. Everybody was saying, dude, that's not a night photo. That's not a night photo. Carty's going to say, like, I saw. My people are like, dude, Carty's really specific. He's going to say something. And then I saw what you said, too. And then I said, hey, listen, this guy's, he believes in this photo. This is what he's doing. He threw it up. He's swinging for the fences. Let's see if it sticks. Let's see if it hits. I'm looking. Answer, no. You missed the boat. They were right. All of them, they were right. Sorry. They were right. So I can't spend too much time on this. You got to follow the brief, though, my guy. Thanks for submitting. Last week's assignment. Again, by the way, I have a deadline. There's a deadline. The deadline when I give an assignment, and I give the assignment at the end of every Thursday's episode, the assignment for the next week. You have until Wednesday midnight for that assignment to go in. If it's at 12:05, you'll be trying to submit it. Like I'm talking 12:05. If you're trying to submit it, the folder for submitting is gone. It's not there anymore. Like you can't find it. And then you're like, hey dudes, I'm trying to submit. It's like, and then my staff will say, hey, guess what? The submission ends at Wednesday midnight. Wednesday midnight. It's like, yeah, but it's 12:05. And then they'll say Wednesday midnight. So the folder's closed. And like, my staff are harder than I am, but I set rules, and it's important to be able to follow rules. And if you wanted to submit that photo last week and you missed the brief and you missed it, that's on you. It's on you. It has nothing to do with my people. They're just doing what I requested that they do. But don't submit last week's photo this week. That's just, it just causes me to do that. All right, let's see who's next. We have Kai Creates. This was a real challenge. He said, this assignment was a real challenge. I'm usually in bed by 10, and I don't leave the house after the kids were in bed. So I took this in our backyard on a cozy Sunday night. Canon R5C, RF 50 millimeter, 1.8, 30th of a second, shot at 1.8 at ISO 1280. Why you putting your ISO so high for? Why you push your ISO so high for? This is Kai Creates. Thanks for submitting, Kai. Like shooting, this is cinematic, and it's insane that the R5C can shoot 12,000 ISO and it looks like this. Like it's insane. One thing I have to say, Kai, is like, other than these catch lights down here, and these catch lights are a sure tell that this actually was shot at night and not shot during the day. This is actually shot at night, because you can see there's catch lights right here. This is street lights way, way, way in the distance. Shooting it in the way that you did, and the way that it was lit, and like doing such a long exposure starts to actually make it not look like night, but there's something here, Kai. Like I don't want to discourage you, because there's something here. There's a mood here. There's a flavor here. There, like your color balance and your treatment and all this stuff. Like we can talk about how far you go with that. We'll talk about how far. Yo, Calligraphy says we're at 33 of 62 people who are watching. He said if we get 50 likes, he's going to gift a membership. Guess what? I'm going to do something even better. By the way, Kai, I'm not finished with you. But what I'm going to do, because I just want to keep this shit going always. What I'm going to do, just because like I think it's necessary I think it's necessary. Yeah, there you go. I'm gifting 5. Kai says if we get 50 likes, that means you people who are watching and haven't hit the like button, I just gifted 5 memberships to my channel. So Simeon, Andre Terry, Simeon Hill, Steve K, Ryan D, and Devlin Jordan were all just gifted memberships on the house from me to you. And yeah, you're keeping track of the like count. So let me know if we get to 50. Okay. Right now we are looking at Kai. Kai, there's something real here, man. I really like it. There's some beautiful minutia. I like the sensibility of wifey sleeping. I like the socks. I like the tone. Like, it's a great shot. It fits the double page format. You really understand how to compose this between 2 pages. Like, you're really starting to get this. And you've hit me with some wicked photos of the week. And again, man, I'm just impressed by how much you're learning in such a short time. And thank you for showing me what my sensor can do at ISO 12,800, my guy. Crazy. Let's go. That's Kai Creates. Thanks for submitting, my guy. All right. You guys with me still? You feeling it? Stay with me, eh? Like, don't get like, if you have a short attention span, I'm not the channel for you, because I like to deep dive. This is Anna. Anna says, Carty, I completed this assignment 3 weeks ago during my trip to New York. I hope that's okay. I guess night photography is easier in Manhattan as the streets are illuminated by the digital displays and city lights. Anna has an advantage. Anna shoots at night a lot.
Yes,
so
sir, yes.
Pictured is my stylish friend Darina on our evening walk. Nikon D780, 35mm, 1/25 of a second, ISO 1600, shot at 3.2. This is Anna Kaya. Anna has been through months of my mentorship program. She's in my masterclass. This is Anna Kaya, and it just shows you how a little bit of instruction just works so beautiful. Stephen C, back for 7 months. Let's go, baby. Stephen C, let me just get into Stephen here. Stephen C says, and Stephen has, and is such a great addition to my life in this Discord. He says, to all the new members, join us in the Discord. Even new subscribers can join the Discord. It's free. You'll be able to improve your photography game by picking the brains of other photographers. Stephen C., thank you for those kind words. This is Anna Kaya. Anna, this is really strong. Really strong. Good horizon line. Good detail. It's just a vibe. It's composed strong, and it works for me. It works as a cover, and it's interesting. It's interesting. You definitely could lower yourself and push this horizon line higher. I guess that would happen. If you lowered yourself, that horizon line would go, no, you can drop it. Actually, you're right. If you lowered yourself, you can drop the horizon line lower. The light that you chose for her face is great. Like, really great light, good retouching. Obviously, focus. It's impossible to get perfect, tack, at this time of night with just existing. But your sensor looks good. It held up. This is what skin is supposed to look like. This is what skin is supposed to look like. It's skin. It's natural. And she's so perfectly lit. And I know that you did this using existing light, Anakaya. So congratulations. This is an 11 for me. This is the epitome of shooting niche at night. Anna's a portrait photographer, editorial portrait photographer. Just helping Anna with her confidence. Well done, Anna. The fact that you shot that 3 months ago, it doesn't hurt my feelings. It doesn't hurt my feelings. And again, you know I need you to shoot for these assignments, for them specifically. It's always better because you're a better photographer today than you were even 3 months ago. That's the part I want you to remember. And don't pull shots that fit the brief. Shoot the brief. The reps are so helpful. You have an advantage because you've shot at night so much before, which now it's like, okay, what's a new subject that I can shoot in the conditions that I have right now at night to prove to you that you can do it on demand. That's the thing that I'm training you to do this on demand, like with a deadline. Okay, you have 7 days. This is the assignment. Do it. Trains you. So that's what we're working on right now. Try not to submit old work. And 3 months isn't hardly old work, but it still is, you know? All right, let's go to the Discord. The next, DCD3. I knew I wanted to shoot in front of this barbershop in Colorado. The model I had arranged ended up having to cancel last minute. So I kind of just stood in front of the building. Okay, I got to take this from the top. DC3 wanted to shoot in front of this barbershop. He got a model that canceled the last minute. So rather than DCD3 booking and leaving, he stood in front of the building like a weirdo, asking people who happened to walk by if he could take their picture. Luckily for him, this awesome young couple ended up pulling up and was nice enough to pose for me for a few minutes. Pretty happy with the overall result. Ended up going with a black and white edit. Hope it meets all the parameters. Shot with the Fuji X-T5 50mm shot, 3.6, 60th of a second, ISO 6400. DC3, you're already getting applause from me, my guy. You're already getting applause from me for not taking no for an answer. Compositionally, man, like I really see what you're doing here. Like I really see what you're trying. It's like small mistakes. We have really hard side light. So because of that, you know you're going to get like half face lit, but it's about how far and how hard that side light is. The side light is so much from directly the side. It's actually lighting their eyeball in half. You can see it happening here as well. And it's also giving shadow on this side of the face because it's coming in so hard from the side. So in this case, and also this pole that's growing out of their head, this sign that's distracting, this pole that's growing out of their head. So what you do is you take one step that way, this way, okay? And now you frame this head up right here and this head up right here. And now you're aiming that way, which is going to force their faces to turn that way and to turn that way, which is going to make this direct light not so hard. It's now going to make this direct light that's coming, like they're here. These are the steps. They're sitting on the steps. Your light source is like this. So, and you have all of this distraction back here and you're shooting this way. So what you do, steps, door, you now stand this way and hit them this way. And now you can frame them properly in here and now have barbershop or whatever kind of coming like this over the thing, you know, or hide this altogether or push this barbershop thing into this window now. Like, compositionally, this is the stuff that you have to sort out. And when you're looking at the scene and seeing a majority of the faces are in shade, and at quick look, you're not actually seeing them. More than half of their face is in shade, and it's just angle, because the light that's coming from this wall is beautiful. You just need to turn them. You need to just rotate them and always have them turn their face into the light. You know, like that's, but it is such a good attempt. It's such a good attempt. You have a nice low horizon line. It's an interesting background, you know, and you probably chose it because of the light. I would have liked to see what it looked like in color. It's a good attempt though, DCD3. I would really like to know what your name is, so I don't have to call you DC3D. Like, it's ridiculous. Just be Derek or Frank or Bob or whatever your name is as a photographer, especially in my Discord and especially here in chat. You notice, you're Doyle Daniels.
Yes, sir,
So
yes.
Doyle Daniels, do me a favor. Change your Discord name also to Doyle Daniels. So when I see you in chat and I see your picture in Discord, I make the connection, and it's not difficult for me, because DC3, it's ridiculous and hard for me to keep saying. Cool? All right. So yeah, I see. Doyle Daniels, your name, that's just your initials. Change your Discord name to Doyle Daniels. Done. All right. Super easy to do on my server. Please be your real name. There's no household names that are initials, monikers, or business names. There's just none. No household name photographers that are Technopix photographic services. So just be Mark Hamill or whatever your name is, even if you hate it. All right, this is Durell. Says, Canon R6, 60th of a second, 4.5, 32 ISO, 24 millimeter. The quiet one. This is Durell. Let's go. Thanks for submitting. You're getting stronger technically. Durell. And I push you hard. You're in my masterclass. Like, we've done one-on-one coaching. We talk all the time. You DM me like I'm your brother. So it's, you're so close here. You're so close. The only problem is exposure. And I think that it's not even exposure, it's post-processing exposure, because we have detail here in the hat. We have white, we have black, we have gray. Now this skin tone, is this skin tone supposed to be the same color as that gray? Is this skin tone supposed to be the same color as that gray? Or could it be that this skin tone is a little dark? And now when you look at it like this, does this not look like a bit of a black mass? And then does it not also up here look a bit like a black mass? And then also down here look a bit like a black mass? So how you counter that in processing is make sure that there's a little bit of detail here, but not too much. And also make sure that the skin tone is dropping where the skin tone should drop. And also the last thing, which would have taken your shot to the next level, is this magic word: contrast. You want to shoot at night. So then get a guy with a black felt jacket. How much light does felt reflect? How much light does this type of fabric bounce back into the universe? 0. It eats light. Then you put it against a super dark background. Why not make him wear a white jacket and have him on that background. So you see how much the hat stands out because it's white. Imagine if he also had something light here, how much stronger this photo would have been. So part of this whole thing is understanding contrast. Something light against something dark. Something dark against something light. Even at night, like we need to have contrast, because if you squint your eyes, or if I make this photo really, really small, now suddenly you don't really know what you're looking at anymore. So that's why we don't know the size that our photos are going to be rendering. Sometimes Instagram, they're looking at it on a phone. They're looking at it not just on a phone, they're looking on it as a grid on a phone. So it's even smaller. So this is why you see photos like this and the contrast of the dark background. This is a picture that I shot of my son, of the dark background, and he's wearing dark, but I cut that dark with the blue hoodie because he has a black t-shirt and I wanted that location and that light. So I had him put his hoodie like that to give separation. And then I had him take his arms out to make it look like he had no arms. So there's things that we have to do in order, when we're shooting on dark backgrounds, in order to create the magic word, which is contrast. We're trying to create contrast. And that happens every single time that we shoot, whether we're shooting at night or not. Shooting at night, pick fabrics that reflect. You know what I mean? Leather. Leather catches light. Like horsehair or all that stuff, it just eats light. So no reflections. So no highlights. So it looks dead. I hope that helps you, Durell. Again, so close, my guy. So close. So close. All right. Next. You with me? Give me a hey yeah if you're with me. Cynthia Lily? Look at you. Okay. Thought I'd show off some super funky architectural photography with this condo building in Daytona Beach that really glows at night. I love the way the lights accentuate the different paint and color throws and tree shadows on the building. Went here 3 nights in a row to work out. I'm going to say this again, okay? And I want you to listen to the difference. I went here 3 nights in a row to work through many different camera settings and angles to feel satisfied with what I was delivering. That's a mic drop. Are you doing that? Are you doing that? Shot with the Sony A7R III with an 85mm f/14, a tenth of a second, ISO 100. Thank you, Carty, for looking. Cynthia Lily. So, do you think Cynthia's multiple times back to this building helped her? Do you think it helped her? I sure do. Holy moly, Cynthia, what happened to you? Like, Cynthia and Mike Lilly are a couple, okay?
Yes, sir,
I mentor both of them. I coach both of them. And we've just through our conversations, I'm working on creating this business model for them, or helping them create this business model. And guess who can shoot at night, Cynthia? Holy moly. Wow.
Yes, sir, yes.
Girl power. By the way, female photographers out there, unite, eh? Female photographers, the Lizas. Oh my goodness, where are you? The Vickies? The Cynthias? Where are you? The Jessicas? Where are my female photographers? Because I'm telling you, I'm trying to rally you guys together. Cynthia Lily, you make me so happy. This is high art. This is a print. This is something that you could sell. Look at the exit signs. Look at the exit signs. And this one exit sign that's out. There's one up here. But look at the exit signs. Look at the repetition. Like the dappling of the sunlight or the moonlight that's pushing these shadows onto this is high art. The repetition. I'm so impressed with you. I'm so impressed with you, Cynthia. This is one of the coolest things that you've done. And you're a night photographer. If you're not doing this every week, this is your new portfolio. Like, think of that. Go to Miami. Oh my goodness. Like, just think of the night portfolio focusing on architecture and specifically hotels, restaurants, buildings, builders. Like, we talked about that business model as far as who your audience is. You're going to be making so much money shooting for hotels. I'm telling you, and staying for free in hotels because this is how you document the hotels. Proud of you. You actually get the smoke, Cynthia Lily. You get the smoke. Very, very, very well executed. Oh, sorry. If it wasn't clear, Miss Lily, if it wasn't clear that you got an 11. Wow. 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 Masterclass. Are you stuck in a 9-to-5 routine, dreaming of turning your passion for photography into a full-time career? You're not alone. Many aspiring photographers struggle to break free from that day job because they're feeling overwhelmed by the vast world of professional photography. And this is where my Carty Method Masterclass comes in. I've spent 3 decades mastering the art of working as a professional photographer, and I've distilled all that knowledge into a patented 6-phase system. My method is specifically designed to take you from where you are right now to becoming a thriving professional photographer. And how I do this is through monthly online cohorts where you'll not only learn the technical skills, but also understand the business of photography. I provide weekly class notes, actionable steps, and resources that'll guide you along the way. You also get access to our exclusive Masters Only community to keep you inspired and connected. So, what are you waiting for? Transform your photography passion into a successful photography career. You can do that right now by enrolling in the Carty Method Masterclass and start your journey to becoming a professional photographer. Spots are limited. I do have a cap and I run on a 6-month cycle. So secure your spot right now and take your next step to your dream career. Speaking of masterclass, I'm rolling my masterclass into a pro group, into a pro accelerator. We'll be talking more about that in the coming days. We are looking at Mike Lilly. By the way, if you're interested in this pro accelerator, I'm trying to help 50 photographers make $100,000 a year with their camera. 50. I can just take 50 this first round. If you're interested in that, leave a comment or email me. Find some way to reach me. DM me. Say Pro Accelerator program, please, and I will send you the application. I have a lot of applications in. I'm going through, I'm doing interviews, the whole process. You need the application. That will tell you everything that you need to know as far as how you can get into this group. And I'm not a gatekeeper. I just have information and I have frameworks, and it's too good for me to be giving away for free here on YouTube. So I'm just starting a different sort of community of photographers that are obsessed about their success. Mike Lilly, husband of Cynthia Lily. Hey, Carty crew, here's my submission for the week. A simple play of light and shadow. Sony a7 III 85 1.8, shot at f8, 3.2 seconds. ISO 100. Thank you for your continued indulgence. This is Mike Lilly. Photograph at night. Mike Lilly. Good discipline, my guy. Really good discipline, Mike. It's strong. It's almost, you're almost bordering on the abstract here, which it's architecturally beautiful. I want you to watch your lines, because when you have a really strong, bold line and it's next to the border of like the frame of your picture, you can see here when I do this line, oops, I missed my straightness. This line next to the line right next to it, we can see the distance change between here and here. So that's something that you can easily fix. But the problem is also your lines here. Your lines here are straight. So this line is straight, but is it? It's actually a little offset, Mike. So it starts to be like how you fix this. It's like you're up and down, how high you are, how much you're aiming up, how much you're aiming down, like how left or right you are. Are you zoomed? Are you at 50? Like it becomes really hard to get straight lines with shooting with architecture without a tilt shift lens. So a tilt shift lens means that you can change perspective without moving. You could straighten that like just by tilting and shifting the lens of the camera. So that might be something that you guys might have to buy, so you both have one and you can share it. But the light, the shadow play, my guy, like you're getting good, Mike. You're getting good. And I'm liking the choices that you're making, the locations. I'm trying to be serious here, guy. Like I'm trying. My goodness, so funny. Calligraphy, you're so funny. So know that the light and shadow play is beautiful, Mike. And I like the fact that you left me this black so I can see that it's at night. Because if you had have cut that out, the line would have started here, and I wouldn't have known that this was at night. So this is good. I like it a lot. Small little thing with your lines, but amazing. You and your wife, this little friendly competition that I'm creating between the two of you, it's like tennis. It's like a wicked serve. That's what you're doing. Like Cynthia just smashes one over the lat, and you're just like, Cynthia's like, honey, look at this photo I just got. And you look and you're like, damn. Now you have to go out and like return that shot with like the same. And then Cynthia looks and she's like, okay, baby, I see this is a game. Just keep playing that creative tennis back and forth, and you two are going to make $1 million. I'm telling you, because we already talked about your niche. So you're not doing it randomly, willy-nilly, just for shits and giggles. You're doing it specifically for a very, very prestigious, expensive type of client. So good for you. I'm excited. Smoke machine. Hello. All right, guys, you ready for more? Are you ready? Good job, everybody. We have a few more. Thank you for your patience. We are looking at G is him. Here's my submission. Challenge myself, and instead of using my strobes, I lit my subject with 2 tiki torches.
Yes.
It was shot with the Canon 1DX, 50 millimeter, ISO 50 millimeter 1.4, eighth of a second, ISO 640. This is G is him. Let's have a look, G. Thank you for submitting. So lighting with tiki torches rather than lighting with a strobe, I definitely see the vibe. Can see a little bit of firelight in the face here. But what you did was you lit with 2 tiki torches. And I'll show you what it did. When you now light with not just 1, you light with 2, you're creating weird shadows. Because this one is making this shadow, okay? And then this one is making this shadow. So you're putting the weirdest shadows on her face because you're cross lighting. Like, there's only one sun. So you can only light with one light as your main light. Whether you're lighting with strobes or tiki torches or whatever you choose to throw at your subject and call it light. You're trying to make a portrait and you're trying to use tiki torches. All you're doing is making it more complicated if you don't show the tiki torches in the photo. What is the point of the tiki torches other than making it more difficult? Here's what you do. You put one tiki torch behind her, here, kicking flames upwards. And now that's one tiki torch. Guess what? Takes off that second shadow. So now that shadow's not there. The next tiki torch, you put behind her here. And now you have a second tiki torch back there. You also have these nice lights. Then you light her with a strobe. And you lower the power of the strobe so it's just a little bit of strobe. And you place that strobe properly for somebody that wears glasses. Okay? Properly for somebody who wears glasses, which is not here and here. It is not here and here. Here and here. When someone has wear glasses, it's in front and it's above. So the highlight goes above the glasses line. So then you light perfect beauty light for her. Short flash, longer exposure to now fill up the ambiance in the background. And the low power means you can still shoot with a shallow depth of field and shoot it at ISO 100, which means you can also shoot it with a shallow depth of field. If you have the equipment and you have the elements, meaning tiki torches, backyard, these lights, also the location, there's nothing that's happening back here. It's such a boring spot, dude. It's boring. There's nothing exciting. And the firelight isn't interesting enough. It's not interesting enough. You build the set. The set looks like this. This is your huge yard. This is the chair where wifey is sitting. You put tiki torch here, tiki torch here. She's sitting on something. You string the lights. You string the lights through here. Add something else back here. Add some sort of element up here that balances and offsets this. So, and then you're standing here with your camera, hitting her dead on, and your light source is here, hitting her also front on at an exposure that is literally like at a minus 32 power. And then you meter here to make sure that you're getting the right exposure. So that's how you build this picture to make it, that's how you hit this picture to make it not boring. And don't light with fire. It's not a thing. You can't have, this is the thing. Okay, this is the thing. Here's your subject's head. Here's you taking your photo, okay? That way. Now, what we're supposed to be doing is shooting our photo at the same head angle as our subject here, okay? Now, also, how we light is our light has to come downwards that way. Downwards, okay? You can't do that if the fire is down here and down here, which is where the fire was based on this highlight in the glasses and this highlight in the glasses. So now you're uplighting. And you can see, because you're uplighting, you can see that the glasses have a shadow above the glasses. So it just makes the face look not flattering. You can't do uplight. It's never good. You can't uplight like that. So if you want to light with fire, you can't direct fire. You can't point it down. You can't like aim it down. You can't aim it this way. You can't like put it on a stand and aim it like. So lighting with the only way it works is as an accent. It's the only way it works is back there. So I hope that helps you, GSM. This is a miss for me. And you're a good night photographer. That's the thing that's frustrating for me, because you've won photo of the week with something that you did at night, which was a totally different idea, which is amazing and perfectly well executed. If you had handed in that assignment here, I would have said, this was another assignment. That you chose to do it at night to make it more complicated, and you knocked it out of the park. You did not take the same fundamentals that made that photo work and apply it to this photo. This photo, you just did something completely different. And I don't get it. So I'm sorry that I got to be so dry, but I hope I explained why, all the reasons you don't do the things that you did right there, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's go to the next. That was G as him, everybody. Thanks for submitting. We're in the last few people. We have 4 or 5 photos left. This is Greg Fisk. Greg, I asked for a night photo in your niche. Greg is giving me, and again, Greg, thanks for submitting. You're killing me, Greg. You're killing me. This is another one of those, like, right on the line. And you know, the thing is, this is a night photo. Because if you enlarge and look at this background, it actually is shot at night. The only thing is it's shot at night in absolutely the wrong spot. Like, not in your backyard, where there's absolutely no catch lights. There's nothing to reflect, catch, or bounce back here. Because this is a shot at night. This is in his yard. And then on top of that, you are hammering this with artificial light, which is increasing the exposure, which is making no ambient light even possible to show up here. There's no separation. And at quick look, this is not a night photo, because you didn't shoot in a location like all the first locations that you saw, like all the first locations, like outside at night, catch lights, like outside here, this picture, catch lights. Like there's things that identify even this photo, which is so technically bad, catch lights that show you there's a light, there's depth of field. It gives you dimension. Catch lights. It's night. You cannot pick this part of a sky, tree, or whatever with no light, no catch lights, no anything, and use that as the background for your photo and then say, I shot at night. Because that is what you did here, my friend. And I see there is night back there. I see it. I see very faint trees. I see them. They're very, very faint here. I see it. But technically, this is done so wrong that I wouldn't know unless I really, really looked at it. And then when it's this big, or when it's this big, and you see it this size, is this a night photo? Is it? I don't think so. So I'll play the same thing. If I was an art director and I asked you to shoot a Smirnoff Ice screwdriver, zesty orange, outside at night on your back patio, and this was the picture that you gave me, would I be a happy art director? Would I be a happy art director? I would be like, what are you doing? What are you doing? This is not, and then I said, this isn't at night. I said, backyard, patio. Where's the elements that show me that it's outside on a patio? And then you would do this. You would zoom in and be like, you see back there, that faint tree that you see? And then guess what, Greg? The art director would take your assignment and he'd say, okay, thanks. And then he'd never call you again. So your light also, these bursts of blocks of light, no bueno. How you're lighting the product also, no. So you made something way more complicated than it needed to be. And it's executed not how you could have executed it. And it's shot in the wrong location. So on all top of those things, Greg, and I know you're a great photographer, my guy. You got it in you. It's just for me, this one's a miss. This is a miss. Thanks for submitting, my guy. All right, Calligraphy, thank you. Calligraphy, as promised, said if we get 50 likes, he was going to hit a gifted. And he gifted a sub. And it was to Invader Viv. Invader Viv, you just got gifted a membership from one of my mods, one of my Masterclass members, and an amazing dude. His name is Calligraphy. He is putting up his hard-earned money for you. Thank you, everybody, for hitting the like button. I appreciate you. The smoke just keeps on coming. Thank you guys for all the support today. All right, let's look at, we are in our last images. This is Alice. Alice, well, the helmet's back, and nothing like a last-minute post. This is my Happy Creative Atlas, the astronaut with happy eyes. Nikon Z6 II, 24 millimeter. Shot at 1/4 of a second, f4.5 at 250. Alice did a self-portrait. Let's have a look at Alice. Let's go, Vicki. There's something here. There's something here, Vicki, but there's also silly mistakes, you know? There's something here, but there's silly mistakes. It's like the light on you, you chose the light because of the reflection that you were able to get from what you were standing in front of, and you used great discipline to frame it so it's like in your goggle, like in your space mask, so perfect. But then there's this light that's growing out of your head. Then there's the horizon line that's going right through your neck, and some of the distractions in the background that aren't adding, and it's quite dead. Like it doesn't have the depth. So here's what you do. What you do in order to break not just my brain, but break the brains everywhere, is you make 2 photos. You make this photo, which you've made already, which is this close-up with this crop and this reflection in the glasses. And then you shoot your whole scene straight on with this same crop. Let's go, by the way, Vicki, for wearing Carty Crew merch. Let's go. Thanks for supporting. What you do is you now shoot a different picture where you're further back and you can include more of the scene, and then you composite, because as long as you're hitting the background, your picture's straight on, it would generate that reflection, and you're looking at the camera straight on. And then I would paste and Photoshop this back onto the mask. So it's almost like that looks like it's coming from within the mask. Like that's an idea. For me, this is close. It's close. It's just the background. It's one of those things, Vicki. It's like my standard for you is very incredibly high. My standard for you is high because of you're in my coaching. You've been through my coaching. So it's just a little bit with the background. It's so close. You held on to what you were looking at to get that sick reflection. But and again, another thing to try is, yeah, the close crop would be difficult. I'm saying, like, here's the thing. This is what you do. Vicki, I know you know where this is. Go there with a background. Go there with your husband. I have like a pop-up background, and put a background behind you so it covers everything that you see behind you. And then you can get this picture with that mask and a completely jet background, and it's still at night. That's an idea. That's an idea. Unless you can find this sign somewhere else. But good job, Vicki. Don't get stressed because you're not getting an 11. It's a super dope idea. Who's got a question for me? Who's got a question? Stephanos, can I have my smoke for one more subscriber? One more gifted that I made? Yes, you can. Have your smoke. Stephanos, I just missed that you gifted another one, my guy. Thank you. I appreciate you. You're a savage. And you don't need to gift so many memberships, my guy. I appreciate it, though. Crazy, man. Getting my numbers up. All right. Let's look at we're in our last few, man. We're in our last few. This is Romeo. Romeo says, my submission for night photography, shot on the Fuji X-T3 50mm ISO 250, 5.6 at a 200th of a second. One love. This is Romeo shooting niche at night. Romeo, I don't know where this came from, my guy. I don't know where this came from. This is like some sort of cinematic first date, like kind of coolness, man. Like, I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. I mean, I like the fact that like you swung for the fences. You really tried to do something different here, which really works for me. Small things, just exposure. This here could probably go up a third. This here could probably go up a third. You can see also the same thing, Romeo, that I was talking about with Durell, with wearing the dark clothing inside a dark place. Same thing with your shot. They're wearing dark clothes in a relatively dark scene. Notice how snappy his white shirt is. What would it be like if he had a white tuxedo jacket or a white satin jacket and a black shirt? You see how now he pops off the background. Your girl, she's wearing knit. Knit, again, eats light. So you see how you lose her arm and you only see her hand coming through, but you have no detail and no detail down here. That's because the fabric color that you chose is too dark. So it's just a lesson in contrast. Again, one of those things, if we really focus on having the clothing be a different color than the thing that it's up against. Also, your light, the light coming through here, giving this, gives such a cinematic feeling, Romeo. So your light's inspired. Also, the front light coming relatively straight gives these catch lights that makes it look like they're watching like a drive-in movie or something. So this really works for me, Romeo. I'm giving you an 11 for this. And although there's a couple of technical issues with this photo, Romeo, and a couple of mistakes that you could, fix on the next time around, you swang for the fences, you picked new subjects, and you created a difficult photo that was based around a thought that you formed into an idea of these two kids on a date in their car. And like, you could really, really play this up and turn it into a real great idea. I have an idea for this. This would be a great series. Imagine it's called First Date with Romeo. And everyone, you get a grandmother and a grandfather, and you do the same shot through here. They don't have to be at night. They're in a park, and it's just this same shot with all kinds of different cars. There's somebody who's a hoarder, and they have all kinds of stuff in their car, and they're sitting here, and they're on a date. Like, imagine how you could style this shot. It fits within a double page spread. It would be a great exhibition. It's called First Date with Romeo. Like or In My Car, like car dates or something like that. Like, this is an idea that like I'm taking this thought and I'm trying to form it into an idea like right before your very eyes. And imagine if this was a coffee table book. And it's like, for a year, I photographed people with their favorite person in their car. So it's mom and child, it's husband and wife, it's father and son, it's dad and grandfather, like in the car. And it's like you shoot the same shot over and them arguing, blah, 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 and then them kissing and all the different things that happen in the front seat of a car. So this is an idea where it started as a thought, but you formed it into something that you can execute. You turned it into an idea. I'm taking that idea and now turning that idea into a model. A model is something that you can repeat over and over and over and over and over again that can turn into something much bigger. So anyways, Romeo, very, 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 very well done. What's that? I don't even know what I just put up there. Hey, photos of the year. Where was that? Oh, this is what I hit. I hit that button. Okay, I got it. I'm like, what button did I hit? All right. No, turn off. Stop. That was 6-7 months ago. Stop it. Turn away. Turn away. Thank you. Ignore that. Ignore that. That was fat fingers. But yeah, also I have like 90 buttons I use to control this stream. 90 FYI, 90 buttons. 90. All right. In case you're wondering, there's no producer. This is all me doing this. Multiple camera angles and all this shit. It's just all me. Every time you see me go like this, I'm pushing a button on one of my controllers. This is Ricky D Silva. Ricky says, Zeke, Tampa Skate Collective, Fuji XH2S, Zeiss, 32mm, 1.8. This was ISO 3200 at 2.8, 250 of a second with a Godox light and installed on an overhead above. This is Ricky De Silva. Ricky, thanks for submitting. It's well composed, you know, and the idea is really strong. The idea is there. The contrast is the thing that I'm watching, and the contrast comes from hard light, undiffused. Hard light, undiffused. And also the hard top light, that's now giving you that sunglass raccoon kind of look, because the light is hitting so hard from the top that it's shading his face here. His whole chin is in shadow. His lip is shadowing the underside of his lip. So it's like, we can't light so top down, or we have to have the face. We have to have the face looking up and not looking at camera. Like the face now looking up. Now the face looks like this, and it's lit from the top, and that's a vibe. So contrast, where you drop the horizon, I don't mind where you drop the horizon, Ricky. This is nice. Through here, the body language is strong. This is strong. The arms language is strong. Even the expression on his face is strong. You know, it's just exposure, because I feel like this is under. And the reason that I say it's under is because of, and also, by the way, if you're hitting this and it's like F16 or let's go look at your reading, shall we? Let's hit your readings again. 2/50th of a second. Okay? And you have a strobe. So 2/50th of a second at ISO 3200. So if you're shooting at 3200, let's break it down. 3200. What was the other reading? 2.8 at 250. At 250. So 2.8 at 250. Now you can drop this down to 1600 and change that to a 125. So now it's ISO 1600 at 2.8 at 125. Okay, so I just halved the ISO. Next, shutter speed, okay, which is this. If you're trying to get background exposure, you need time. You cannot shoot at a 2/50th of a second at night because it gives no time for the flash to travel back here and come back here. You need to shoot at on this situation, here's another secret. Here's a secret. The duration of a flash is 1/50,000th of a second. All right? 1/50,000th of a second is the duration of your flash. Okay? 1/50,000th of a second. You're exposing at 1/250th of a second. Your exposure here between 1/250th of a second and 1 second doesn't change. Guess what? The 1/50,000th of a second freezes the action. Your flash freezes everything. Shutter speed allows ambient. You need ambient with an I there. You need ambient light. So shooting at a 2/50th at night, just because you think that's what you do when you shoot strobes. That's what you do when you shoot strobes when you're in the studio, bro. When you're outside at night, you're like at a lower ISO, so say 1600, and then you don't shoot at a 2/50th of a second. You shoot at 1 second. At 1 second, now you have detail in this whole scene. The background, all the lights that are happening, you have detail in the whole scene, and you have proper exposure here because you chose the right f-stop. You're still shooting at 2.8. So the exposure here, it might change maybe a third. So you shoot at 2.8 and a third. So technically, Ricky, you shoot like at night, start your shutter speed at like a 60th, literally at a 60th, and then go to a 30th, then go to a 15th, and keep going lower until you start seeing blur or motion blur. And I'm telling you, if you're shooting strobe, you won't see it. You can keep going lower. Then you're at 1 second. With strobe, you still don't see blur. So that's how you bring up the ambient in the background. That's a trick. Whenever you're shooting and you need, like you're an interior photographer, you shoot interiors, you're shooting architecture, you're shooting a portrait of somebody in a room, and you want to feel the light in the room, lower the strobe power. Low. Take a light meter reading with the strobe. It says F4. Now, at F4, take a reading in the room and see how many seconds it takes you in the room to get F4. Ambient, no flash reading, says 1.5 seconds. Ambient in this room in order to get the proper exposure. Then plug your flash in, take a picture. The f-stop that your camera said, 2.8 or f4 or whatever, set your camera at that at 1 second, at whatever ISO you were using. Then now, flash, then your shutter closes. So now the flash freezes your subject, but that extra open makes your whole room exposed properly. That's how you shoot editorial portraits indoors. That's their lesson right there for you, Ricky J. Good job, Ricky. Thanks for submitting. Whew. Hope that helps. Again, like for me, it's second nature. And because it's second nature, I forget sometimes. But these lessons, like that lesson that I just gave you, it's something that only gets called upon in a situation, right? And I can't Like, I'm not going to give you that in the brief. You have to figure that out. You have to figure out, like, slow your shutter speed down. And guess what? When you do that and then you fire a flash, you freeze the person, but then they can keep walking. Now you get something called motion blur with flash. So you get flash, but then a trail. And it looks like life and action, and people shoot lifestyle that way. People shoot weddings that way. Second curtain sync, slow shutter drag. Like, you've heard all these terms. The fundamentals is you're allowing the shutter to be open longer so it can fill the room. There's only motion blur if the guy's like, if someone's dancing and stuff, sure, you're going to get some trails. But if it's just a portrait and the person's just looking at you and the shutter goes click and the flash goes with it and then the shutter closes, to you, the eye looking at it, it's just a perfect picture that you actually see the background. Where if you just, with like a 2/50th of a second, it exposes your person and then the background is jet black. Jet. Yes or yes. That's how you use shutter speed with flash. Hope that helps. This is Andre and our last photo of the day. Nightlife in Kalamazoo. Nikon Z2 85 ISO 200, a tenth of a second. And two subjects. This is Andre Grayson. Andre, thanks for submitting. Andre, you hid your watermark in here, my guy. And this, I know you probably did this to cover the license plate, but we don't have the whole license plate. You don't need to. And it doesn't matter how clever you think you are with your watermarks, please do not include them. They are tacky. Watermarks are tacky, bro. No one's printing your photos here on Discord. So I see what you're doing. I see the light here. She's underexposed by half, and this girl is non-existent. So when I say non-existent, I'm talking about headroom, headspace. You're choosing to cut her feet here instead of cropping here and including more of her head. So, and also this girl's out of focus because you're using an ISO that makes it, or an f-stop that makes it only so this girl's close, but this girl's way out of focus because she's at a different depth. This girl's at this depth. This girl's at this depth. So the distance between these two girls is 18 inches, and you don't have an f-stop to keep this girl and this girl both in focus, which is why you don't shoot subjects when one is here and one is here, and you're the photographer, and you're trying to get this person and this person both in focus. That doesn't happen. If you have people like this, then you have, if you have a person here and a person here, and you're here, you have to rotate this way and now approach them that way, because now they're on the same plane and you can focus on this person and this person will also be in focus. You can't expect to get this and this when you're shooting that way, both to be tack sharp without f-stop. And if you don't have f-stop because you don't have light, you can't do it. You know what I mean? You use strobe and then you blast it and then it's like, okay, I get f16 and I have no problem with this person depth and depth, but you posed them that way. You put them that way. So you could have posed them better. Also, you're aiming into something that's bright. This is hella bright behind. So because this is bright, this is going to affect the exposure there, because this is where the camera thinks to exposure. They think the exposure is behind because you're shooting them on a wall of light. This also super bright. Camera sees this, makes this dark, which it is. And also, this creates this reflection. This is distracting. This becomes distracting. This toys in the window become distracting. Now I'm mad at you because of your watermark, and the whole thing falls apart, Andre. So what happens is, rather than you shooting into the street that way, you go over here and you shoot in that way. So now they're being lit by this. This becomes the source to light their faces. You have them both standing up on this part of the car, one here and one here. So they're both on the same plane. And you're back here, literally back here, shooting them this way. And I bet you, because this is the sidewalk and this is the street over here, I bet you that the street is more interesting than the sidewalk. And guess what? There's light sources here. There's street lights here when you aim the other way. So this is a 100% miss. You needed to walk around the car and shoot into the street instead of you being into the street, shooting into the sidewalk, because the sidewalk's distracting, ugly, and too bright. I hope that brought you value,
Question?
Andre. We were on the phone for an hour today, my guy. Someone has a question for me. Who has a question? Andre wanted to know if I made the clothes also. Explain, Andre, if I made what clothes? I'm lost. I don't know what you're talking about. Please clarify. Oh, he made the clothes. Got it. He made the clothes. Andre's a fashion designer as well. I got it. We talked about that, Andre. You have to choose one or the other. You have to choose one or the other. And I literally did mentorship with Liza Hyder. She's also a photographer and a fashion designer. Guess what Liza said? She wants to be a photographer more than she wants to be a fashion designer. And for you, it's the same thing. You have to choose. If you want to be a fashion designer, you're trying to level up your photography and level up your fashion design at the same time. You want to be a fashion designer? Be a fashion designer. Hire photographers like me to execute your designs at the highest level, so you'll get respected in the fashion world. But understand, you want to be a fashion designer, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. You need venture capital. You need people behind you to help you grow your brand. Literally, it's faster for you to become a photographer and then do this once you understand business, once you understand figuring out what clients need. We talked about this. I feel like I've talked to you about this, Andre. So I know that you did the fashion still, but again, make sure you're deciding one or the other, fashion designer or your photographer, because like you don't get to run two things at the same time. And how many people have you heard start two things at the same time and they both blew up? It happens 0 times. You're diluted. This is totally different than this. Life of a photographer is totally different than the life of a fashion designer. Totally different worlds. And also, hope you're rich, because to really blow up fashion, you need money. So yeah, anyways, I know he made the clothes. I just hope that he's not trying to be a fashion designer still, because Parsons School of Design, St. Martin's, like I photographed for people who went to St. Martin's, which is the same school that Vivienne Westwood went to, and they're not making a living as designers. So trying to do it off the street is insane. To be at the level of Prada and Gucci and this kind of stuff. Guys, I hope today brought you value. Know that there's so many different ways I can help you. I have coaching programs. I have a masterclass. I'm about to start my pro group, which I'm going to end up just rolling my masterclass into the pro group. The pro group is like check-ins with me every week, access to me for Zoom chats from time to time when you need it, as well as all my digital tools, all my course materials, the Carty method course, all of that stuff, access to it as part of the subscription. It's just a monthly fee. And it's a lot easier to digest than the fees of professional photography school, which doesn't know how to teach anyways. They just teach you how to make or take photos, make photos, studio light, that kind of stuff. Cool. But no practical application. And most of the people who are teaching photography school don't work commercially and haven't for the last 30 years. I still work commercially, literally, and I have to. I do it often. Guys, I hope today brought you value. I just want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Consider joining this channel at the submission level if you got to the end. All 70 of you who stayed till the end, please join the Discord. I have the largest growing photography community of people who are committed to becoming professional photographers on the internet. And you're not in it. If you're not in my Discord, it's like, oh my God, yes, I can just hear you. Oh yeah, that's right. I said he was going to do that, but you haven't done it yet. It's totally cool. Just know that the people who are flying ahead of you. They're flying ahead of you. And you're seeing examples of what happens. Oh yeah, I forgot. Photo of the week and assignment. There you go. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I knew I was forgetting something. So let's go to my photos of the week, because that's what calligraphy is supposed to remind me every week. Thank you. Because sometimes I forget. Photos of the week. It's pretty simple for me today. There's some photographers that really stood out. There's some photographers that really stood out with the work that they submitted, how much they cared about this assignment, how much they put into executing this assignment, and what the results actually were. There's some photographers that are just standouts. And I hate, like, I'm not picking loosely this time. I am picking like a savage. And I have to, because the bar, you guys need to see how high the bar is. You need to see how high the bar is, because the bar is high. On the fence. Okay, that's it. Any picture that I'm on the fence doesn't get it. Doesn't get it. We have 4 photos of the week. 4. We're starting early, right here. First photo of the week goes to the one they call Scuba Steve. Photo of the week, Steve. Well done. Great choice of location. Great choice of location. Executed well. Your small mistake with the foot cut off, it doesn't, I can live with it, because you swung for the fences and you won. You didn't, people don't always swing for the fences, and you did. You had this location in mind. You wore the right outfit, and you really put your heart into this, and you put yourself out there. So good for you. Steve, Scuba Steve, photo of the week. Congratulations, buddy. You haven't had one in a while. You were due. Next photo of the week. I'm very happy with this photographer. Very happy. Photo of the week goes to Mike Statz. Mike Statz. Mike. Congratulations. Photo of the week. Carty seal of approval. Mike Statz. Let's go, Mike. Congratulations. We have 2 more photos of the week and an assignment. This photographer, man. Jeez. Photo of the week. Photo of the week. Photo of the week goes to Joshua Hone for this photo right here. Absolute killer, Joshua. Killer. So happy. So happy. Photo of the week. Well done. And our last and final photo of the week. This photographer. Welcome. 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 This is a new world for you. Ladies and gentlemen, our next photo of the week goes to Cynthia Lily. Cynthia Lily, congratulations. Photo of the week. And also, congratulations to Cynthia Lily. Let's go. Cynthia Lily, best in show. Congratulations, Cynthia. Best in show this week. Amazing. You did absolutely fantastic. Cynthia Lily, best in show. That is the best photo of the week. Undisputed of all of the photos. Congratulations, Cynthia. Whew. Toughie. It was a toughie. It was a toughie. But know this. This is honing you. Steel sharpens steel. Seriously. Steel sharpens steel. And I am teaching you how to be steel. How to be undeniable. 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 So, I have another challenge for you. Another challenge. And I would like to Let's think. I should really, I'm going to go back to my notes because I want to think of the assignments that the most people do, but I also want to think of the assignments that are the most beneficial, the most helpful, that's actually going to help you move the needle. So, wow. Okay. And by the way, these challenges and these assignments are really, really difficult. But I have it. This is a looser assignment. And again, it involves photographing within your niche. Okay? Photographing within your niche. And you can do this in any way you deem fit. This is for a cover of my magazine. I would like you to include technology of some sort in a photo within your niche. Does that make sense? I want you to figure out a way to take a piece of technology, an iPhone, AirPods, headphones, a remote. Use a piece of technology and make a photograph that includes that piece of technology in your photo. So it could be applied in a lifestyle fashion. It could be applied in an advertising fashion. Technology. So be creative. Think about your phone screen and how your phone screen could be a light source. Think about an iPad screen. Use a piece of technology and feature that piece of technology as the hero within your photo. But if you're a people photographer, you have to incorporate a person with your tech. If you're a product photographer, you have to choose to shoot tech for this particular product shot. If you're a landscape photographer, I can't help you. If you're a wedding photographer, what's a piece of tech that's involved with every wedding that you could photograph? That's your assignment. It's a little obscure. If you have questions, ask Stephen C. or ask me in the Discord. I want you to make a photograph within your niche that features a piece of technology. That is your brief. I hope that brings you value. And yeah, you can't use the technology for the photo. The technology has to be in the photo. Okay? To be clear, the technology has to be in the photo. You can't use the technology for the photo. You can, but, so, and stay away from cameras. It's too basic. It's too simple. Everybody wants to shoot a camera. Oh, this is my technology. Yeah, I get that. But just push it further. Try harder. Try like you're going to sell something, Take this SanDisk drive. How would you sell this? And incorporate this in a people photograph or a lifestyle photograph or an advertising photograph. It's a loose thing, but these are the type of assignments you're going to get, and you're going to have to figure out how you're going to do it. So it starts with a thought. Write down your thoughts. Form those thoughts into ideas. Ideas are actionable. Action your ideas. And be like Cynthia Lily. Don't just do it once and be like, she went out 5 times. She went out over and over and over and over, kept testing. And it's like, if you don't have the time to do that kind of stuff, do you have the time to be a professional photographer? It's like you want to be a brain surgeon, but you don't have the time to do medical school. So you just kind of do brain surgery on the side. How's that working out for you? How many people have you killed? Guys, I hope that brought you value. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. I do photo reviews every Thursday for the members of this channel. If they are at the submission level, I cannot review non-member subscriber level, non-submission level people. I can't. When I used to, there would be 100 photos. There'd be 1,000 photos, and these shows would be 20 hours long. Having my eyes on your photos are worth money. So, yeah, that's why we have this system. Again, the members of this channel are the reason that we have commercial-free content because of you. If you became a member, if you were gifted a member, your name is scrolling like credits at the end of a movie across the top of this stream. This literally 2.5 hour commercial-free stream was because of the members of this channel. And by the way, if you got to the end of this and you were like, hey, there was commercials this whole time, it's because you're watching it not live. The commercial-free happens only for the people who watch me live. If you've made it to the end of this episode, I want to know one thing. What's your niche? What is your niche? Answer me that question. Hey, my name's Bob. I'm from North Carolina, and I shoot left nostril inhalers for right-armed people. I'm going to say, hey, Bob, I don't think that's a wide enough niche. Perhaps widen your niche to just people. So I want to know what your niche is, and specifically what type of people or what type of photography that you are trying to do. Answer that question for me right now in the comments. I love you all. Check the Carty method. Visit the description for all my sponsors and information on how you can get all kinds of free tools and free ways that I can help you. I love you.